Hey YouTube, today I have found us games with over 1,000 score from some of the top players. Specifically, I went not just for over 1,000 score, but the highest score that I could find from our players that we like to watch, and it's going to be Nupo and Drowley here today. Nupo playing alongside Killiers, as we see Killiers dropping him a pass and Nupo getting a goal. And then Drowley, we're going to see Drowley playing in a lobby where he is able to go absolutely crazy and got the highest score I had seen from any of the top players in the past couple months. And of course, or I shouldn't say of course, but I am not going to include overtime. So maybe you guys are thinking, oh, a lot of these games are just going to go very long. I've decided games that there are overtimes don't count unless maybe there were super short overtimes. In this case, nobody was competing with these games without going into a deep overtime, which is basically just a long game, not a hard carry by a specific player. And Nupo is the kind of guy who can get hard carries without going to overtime. It's a little bit surprising that he's doing it with such a strong player like Killiers, as opposed to, you know, being in a lobby where he's the only one who needs to go hard, but Nupo always goes hard no matter what. So let's take a look. What does it look like when Nupo is carrying or trying to carry? I think that is kind of just Nupo gameplay all the time, but maybe we'll notice anything special here as we are a minute in. He's looking really solid with dashing. I noticed that early on as the replay started. We were talking about the intro and then that sidewall dash there. He has always been a guy who, well, I shouldn't hype him up too much because he does whiff the ball completely, and it's probably going to result in a goal on his own net. But he has been one of those guys who has pioneered speed, you know, specifically Dark, a guy who's doing it maybe not at the highest level, but especially was ahead of the curve when it comes to dashing, and now Nupo seeming to integrate as many dashes as possible. I wonder if Nupo has controller issues like Dark does as often. Like, is he having to buy new controllers all the time? I'm not sure, but he is going to send in a long shot to make it 2-1. Minute 30 into these games. And one thing that I've noticed when I've looked at high-scoring games in the past is that you usually don't get complete and utter blowouts, because I don't think complete and utter blowouts allow players to get high points, because you get out of the match too quickly, just like the overtime matches kind of inflate them. Sometimes the really good games just end them really quickly. Maybe that's something we should do. Type in the comments if you want me to go find the shortest game that some of these guys have played. Maybe it's just them dominating people in like a couple seconds, and that could actually be kind of interesting as well, instead of just looking for score, as Nupo and Killiers are certainly not running up the score here right now. 2 minutes in. Killiers attacking in the corner. Nupo's been politely waiting his turn here, and he wanted the bump. I'm not sure why he reversed back up like he was going to get a reverse bump, but either way, hangs out on the back wall for a moment and dashes out to get that demo he was looking for earlier. As he swings wide, doesn't seem to like Killiers' pass, and is expecting Dansku to give him the ball, which he did eventually do. Now defending against Porsas. Sounds like Torsas. Maybe I'm saying it right or wrong, I don't know. But one thing that I noticed with other high-scoring games is also saves. And right now, Nupo, despite loving to play fast, is finding himself on the goal line a bunch and is farming saves. I'm not sure if he gets credited with a save there, if there was a dunk back and forth. But he now has 679 points, 4 saves, and 2 goals, 3 shots. He is going crazy. But still not up to the crazy numbers we're going to expect to see at the end of this game. As Killiers going to pass out to him. Soft touch. Porsas overshot it, and then he wanted the dunk, but actually no resistance at all. So Nupo will just be able to dunk it in. Hat trick for him as he holds all the goals for his squad so far. Killiers going to intentionally lose the kickoff to Nupo, who gets underneath the ball for his first touch, and will reset pop this over Porsas and over the top of Dansku. So make it 4 goals with a minute 47 left to go. Nupo, I've noticed, actually doesn't go to kickoff very often in situations where he's playing with somebody. He might have gotten registered with a save right there. Seems to like it when other players go. Just something you maybe wouldn't expect, considering how often he moves around. Killiers is going to bump him around. Not the best tap away from Nupo either. And now a minute 32. And they're only up 1. Another intentional loss from Killiers. Killiers just hits the brakes and allows Nupo to pick up the midfield 100. And can Nupo go to work again? We saw him 1v2 in this situation earlier, but this time only gets past 1. Ball does drop down as Nupo looks to cycle all the way back to net. Nice pass up to Killiers, who should be able to slot these. Oh, what a save. My goodness. Kaliers is the kind of guy who's slotting those all the time against the best defenders in the world. So you got to give Dansku some credit for keeping that one out, as Nupo will farm yet another easy save. If there's any question what the blue team's doing wrong, I think it's these really, really lofty, easy to save shots that Nupo is farming on right now. If they could find a way to hold on to possession or make something better out of it, they maybe wouldn't farm such a crazy game for Nupo. Nice wave dash jump to get back up to this ball. It's been a couple different times. It looks like Nupo's almost trying to bump Kaliers, it would seem, but does dodge the bump again. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like almost chasing down right underneath him, like he's gonna go try and bump him, but Kaliers has to jump to evade it. And now Nupo, 30 seconds left to go, or a little bit less than 30 seconds. Up one with Kaliers, and again, he plays really passive. This is how he's been farming saves. Kaliers should be able to get a goal. They decide to forfeit. So it looks even worse. Kaliers was supposed to get a fifth goal, or a fifth goal for the team, one for him, and maybe get more points than 320, but instead, Nupo, 1,343 score here, playing with Kaliers. Let's go look at the Drally game. Drally in the lobby all by himself in terms of players we recognize, so it'll be interesting to see how crazy he goes. He starts immediately off with a save and dodges the swing through demo to open up this two's lobby. Now Snow kind of running ahead for him as he tries to dash out of his single jump. Drally is considered by many the best player in the world right now, and I think it's not necessarily just in threes. We saw how close he got to qualifying and potentially winning in the 1v1 LAN as well. He would have won, 1v1 LAN and 3v3 LAN, which would have been absolutely crazy, but Moxie proved to be too much in that grand final over in EU. So we'll have to wait for a double LAN champion, which we'll probably get eventually. I think oftentimes the players who are best at threes are also the best at ones, and assuming ones continues to get more action and we get more chances to get LAN 1v1 champions, I'm thinking we're going to see a double champion at some point, as Drally going to get demoed here and respawn into the back corner, hovering underneath where Snow is going to work. Ooh, pretty solid shot from Snow, but it's just going to hit a couple pings before bouncing out. Drally wanted to go quickly, it felt like, in order to not get pressured by that player chasing from behind him, and it still didn't matter. So hard to control the ball and stay at that top speed. He's going to have to dodge a demo, which he does easily, and then win to 50. Sure, he dies after that, but he's done his part making a save. Now Snow maybe not getting the kind of clear that Drally would need, and so Drally, feeling awkward, tries to prep for a save, but does get beat, and it's a 1-1 game. Drally not going to this kickoff at all, and Karam immediately not going for it either. Is that hit? Oh my goodness. Drally trying to mix it up. I hope he calmed that in quick chat to his teammate that he wasn't going to go for the kickoff at all, but credit to Karam for actually making an adjustment and not just hitting it to him and going for a bump. Now down 3-1 on a couple kickoff mishaps. It all happened earlier when Snow, Drally's teammates, didn't get the best clear, then the first goal, then two more. So now playing down 1-3, and like I said before, this is kind of a necessity when it comes to getting the highest scoring game, as Drally going low 50 and will put on a second goal. I imagine he's going to probably want to play second fiddle on this kickoff. Usually you don't want your best player in the lobby to use all their boost and try and make a 50 happen, leaving that other player to be the anchor. I'm thinking Drally wants to be the last back, the safety valve for this squad. Not to mention he's just on the right side, which is probably the reality of what 90% of kickoffs is, just, if not even more, because he's not teamed with this player, just assuming he's going to go. Drally getting his sidewall air dribble taken away as Snow almost got dunked immediately into the net. Drally died while watching that play happen, and will miss a dash here to put him slightly out of position, and missing the boost as well. Drally got to shake it off here. Gonna have to play some defense as Lanks his dribble stopped by Drally, and second shot saved by Snow. Again, slightly awkward there from Snow. as Drally will attack the other way. He wants a bump. He tried to go for it with ball cam on. Didn't connect, but has rotated back in time to make it clear that I doubt will get registered as a save in terms of score, but you'll see Drally definitely gets a ton of score in this game. Drally going to take this tee up at the midfield after picking up the 100 boost. And nobody's home. So it's going to be an easy double as he sends it into the ceiling. That player that probably should have been last back must have creeped out of nets. And then it's a layup for Drally to control that ball and put it in the net. So tied 3-3. Kickoff able to be handled this time around from the blue squad as Drally has to dodge a demo yet again. Actually able to stay in control of the ball. Not a ton of boost left over, but he might even make something out of this. Drally's been the kind of guy who's been trying to freestyle on the ground in show matches and stuff, so maybe has worked on his precise ground control to make those kind of evasive maneuvers. But a minute 5 left to go. What a quick reaction by Drally. And then he gets the reset wave dash on the ground. But really what it comes down to is he had the perfect read on his own teammate's pop to be able to get up and take it away from the opposition. He's going right back to the kickoff. That did not work at all. Snow fakes, so half flip to fake kickoff. No way! It's literally just bad kickoffs is the only reason why Drally is even in a close game right now. He is carrying every midfield play, but he's in a 4-4 game. Drally, ooh, nice reset shot and a dunk as well. Jumped off the back wall. Looked like a save was going to happen, but he dunks it in. So a fairly quick score off the kickoff. And again, he's sticking with it. I love that he's refusing to back down on half flipping off the kickoff. He will not go to it. He wants Snow to go. And now great shots. So much movement on the reset shot. Drally, that's what he was hoping for. Getting a possession with full boost. I'm sure he feels like he could put the ball in the net every time if he has the opportunity to do so. And he finally did get it. Now Snow can get demo and staying on ball. Drally seems to be waiting patiently. Can he get a pancake double here? Doesn't seem possible, so he clears it away. 21 seconds left to go. A whiff from Karam as Drally will catch this one and try and take it away. They've been quite chasey when Drally has the ball, which makes sense. It's worked on occasion. Drally bumped off. Snow, a chance to, drop it. Hey, smart. That's what I'm doing. If I'm playing with Drally, I'm not taking a shot. I'm just touching it and dropping it right back down, saying, here you go, Drally. You figure something out. No way I put it on target. But Drally ends up with 1,534 score in this game. 6 goals, 8 saves, 8 shots. And it was actually kind of close. Crazy enough, it was actually kind of close because of just a few kickoffs. But some hard carry games. Let me know if you guys want to see games like this before. Maybe you want to see specifically certain players who have had hard carry games in X amount of time. But I'll see you guys next time.